Hello and welcome to another revision video. Today I'm looking at the revision for the higher tier GCSE tier. This is a page taken from the Edexcel GCSE higher tier revision workbook, and this is page 18. So this is topic 18, factorising, and as indicated here, this is a hot topic. This is on every paper. So we'll make a start. So first of all, factorise. Factorise essentially means put into brackets. So we take out common factors when we're factorising things like this into single brackets. So we take, and it's guided here, we've got 3 taken out as a common factor. I tend to say, what do I need to times 3 by to make 3x? So that would be x. And what do I need to times 3 by to get 6? That would be 2. So for B, we haven't got the guide so much, so we're going to take out the highest common factor, which in this case would be a 2. And what would we need to times 2 by to get P? 2P, we'd times by P. What would we need to times 2 by to get 6? That would be 3. And what symbol would go in the middle? That would be a minus. And then for this one, already guided, and we've already got 5 taken out as a common factor, so we would need to times 5 by y to get 5y. And we need to times 5 by 3 to get 15 with a negative symbol in the middle. Right, our next layer, we've got algebra as our factors. So we take x out as a common factor of these two terms, and that would mean, what do we need to times x by to get x squared? That would be x. And what do we need to times x by to get 6x? That would be 6. And likewise for this one, we can take x out as a common factor. Times x by to get x squared, that would be x. And what would we need to times x by to get 4x? That would be 4. And the symbol in the middle would be, again, an addition. And then the final one of this row, we've got x already taken out as a common factor. What would we need to times x by to get x squared? Again, x. And what would we times x by to get 12x? That would be 12 with a negative symbol in the middle. And next row, we can take an algebra and a number part. So the first one, we can take 3p out as a common factor, and then what would we times 3p by to get 3p squared? That would be p. And what would we times 3p by to get 6p? That would be 2. And for the final one, highest common factor of 8y squared and 24, y would be 8y. And we would need to times 8y by y to get 8y squared. And we would need to times 8y by 3 to get y, and then a negative symbol in the middle. And for the final row, not the final row, for the next row, I'm going to take 4d out as a common factor. So what do we times 4d by to get 4d squared? That would be d. And what do we times 4d by to get 12d? That would be 3. And the symbol in the middle would be a plus. And then for the final one, 6x is our common factor. And we times 6x by x to get 6x squared. And by 3 with a minus symbol in the middle. For question 5, we're moving on to quadratics now. And this is how I would set it out normally. So I'm looking for numbers that multiply together to make 3 and add together to make the middle term. Multiply to make the back term, add to make the middle. So in this case, this is a rare case where the multiplication is less than the addition. So it's got to be 3 and 1. So plus 3 and plus 1. And for this one, we've got the same thing. It multiplies to make a smaller number than it adds. So it's got to be 10 and 1. 10 and 1. So that would be x plus 10 and plus 1. Right, same principle, I'll set it up the same. So numbers that multiply together now to make minus 7, together to make 6. So both numbers are negative. So what am I talking about? One is negative, one is positive, and the larger one is negative. Larger one is positive, so 7 and minus 1, 7 and minus 1. meaning that our factorise becomes x plus 7 and x minus 1. And for this one, same thing really. Two numbers that multiply together to make minus 5 and that add together to make 4. So again, 5 and minus 1, 5 and minus 1. So we've got x plus 5 and x minus 1. And slightly more complicated, two numbers that multiply together to make minus 15 and that add together to make minus 2. So I'm looking at 5 and 3 with the 5 being the smaller, so minus 5 and 3. So I've got x minus 5 and x plus 3. Okay, and now we've got a difference of two squares, so that's going to be x plus 3 and x minus 3, and this one would be x plus 12 and x minus 12. The difference of two squares means that both of these terms are squared, and yeah, there you go. There's your difference of two squares formula. So if you've got two squared terms, then it's going to be the square root of 1 plus the square root of the other, multiplied by the square root of 1 minus the square root of the other. Okay, and this row are a little bit more complicated in that we've got our x squared coefficient isn't 1. I tend to do this in a similar way, so I actually say, I'm just checking these are all prime numbers anyway, so the two numbers will still need to multiply to make the back number, but because of the 3 coefficient, 3 lots of one of the numbers plus the other number add together to make minus 7. So we are looking at minus 2 and minus 1. Let's go that way around. Because 3 times by minus 2 is minus 6, and then minus another one would be minus 7. So the minus 2 needs to go in the bracket opposite the 3. So if I create my two brackets, 3x and an x, and then the minus 2 goes in the opposite bracket. And same principle, so two numbers that multiply together to make minus 3, sorry, and two lots of one of the numbers plus the other number add together to make minus 1. So it's got to be 3 and 1. 1 is negative, 1 is positive. So it's going to be minus 3 and plus 1. I said plus 1. That would be 2, and then 2 take away 3 is minus 1. So that works. And again, so the brackets have got to start by 2x and x, and the plus 1 is going in the bracket opposite the 2. There we go. And my final one, set it up the same. Two numbers that multiply together to make minus 12, and 3 lots of one of the number plus the other number add together to make minus 16. And we've got to have a 3x and an x. Right, so combinations for 12, let's say 3 and 4. Can we make it, one's going to be negative. If we had 3 there, that would be 9. 4 there wouldn't work. 4 there would be 12. 15, so that wouldn't work. So let's try 6 and 2. That would create 12. So let's just run down what we've tried. So we've tried 3 and 4. Let's just double check that that doesn't work. 9 and 4 won't work. And I've just kind of spotted it, 6 and 2. That would give us, if you put the minus 6 there, that would minus 18 plus 2. So that's my combination. So the minus 6 is going there, and the 2 would go there. Okay, there we go. I hope you found that useful. Please subscribe if you like.